Hello literature connoisseurs. Let's begin chapter 9 of Tribulation Force. The chapter begins with Buck and Chloe talking. Chloe is stupidly amazed that Buck did not send her the flowers she threw out. She gets snarky at Buck's suggestions about why the flowers arrive. Not sure why she thinks she has the moral high ground when it shows how stupid she is. The ridiculousness of her jumping to conclusions proves how wrong she is, yet, like Christians, she cannot admit she was wrong, even when evidence is provided. Buck rehashes his relationship with her from the previous book until now, and each piece he adds makes Chloe more emotional as she, for some reason, goes from indifference to emotionally sad. Considering how ridiculous the characters are, this has no emotional impact on the reader. Chloe lets slip that she thinks he is seeing someone else, and when he questions her about it she refuses to answer him but tells him to go on with his speech. Buck becomes deflated by her reaction that he's not the greatest thing ever to exist, even better than Jesus, because of his narcissism. After spending the first half of this book wanting to break up with her, he suddenly decided that even though she is mental, that she is worth it to date. Buck is just talking gibberish as he tries to explain why he did not want her but changed his mind. Chloe keeps interrupting his speech and he tells her to shut up, and she takes offense. What happens when a narcissist tries to date another narcissist? We learn that Cock Block Ray has been listening in, and when he hears Buck tell Chloe to shut up, he cheers that someone actually had the balls to do what he should have done a long time ago. The cock blocker tells them to speak up or whisper so he can decide if he's going to keep eavesdropping or go to sleep. I guess this is supposed to be funny, but it comes off as lame, like the whole book. Buck talks more nonsense as he brings up his office, but then doesn't want to talk about it. This foolishness makes the story so convoluted it's no wonder 95% of people give up reading the series for something that was written that is coherent. Skipping ahead because reading them talk past each other is too long and laborious. Eventually Chloe realizes that she is very stupid and doesn't give a valid apology for jumping to unfounded conclusions. She just expects him to break up with her, which he should, because again she is jumping to conclusions. This whole scene can be summarized in one word: vomit. Honestly, 95% of this chapter can be skipped because it's nothing but childishness. We get another non-comedic moment between Chloe and her father, then Buck and Chloe go for a walk and talk about how stupid they are. Chloe thinks about the flowers and once again jumps to conclusions and assumes they were sent by Bruce because she somehow enticed him. Kinda pathetic that she doesn't mind being wrong even after learning not to be stupid and jumping to conclusions. This book should be featured in literature classes as a guide of how not to write a god-awful book made up of nothing but clichés. Buck reveals that he's a virgin when it comes to sex, to somehow become another cliché of Christian morality. Chloe comes out stating that she is a virgin even though she admits to fooling around with other guys. I mean, if the authors are trying to stick their fingers down my throat to make me vomit. Mission accomplished. The scene skips ahead to Chloe getting back home and Cock Block tries interviewing Chloe on what happened. He mostly focuses on if they became physical with each other. Chloe asks him about the flowers and he jumps to the conclusion that Bruce sent them also. Not sure why they keep jumping to bad conclusions based on no evidence. Scene changes to Buck as his boss calls and wakes him up. His boss wakes him up to stroke his ego by lying about him being a great reporter. His boss keeps trying to stroke him with uninteresting promises that Buck seems to not care about. Buck tries to weasel in on the Israeli peace treaty and they go back and forth about whether it is a religious story or not. His boss wants to put his religious reporter on the story, but Buck keeps pushing to get himself put on it. They keep guys galloping about the treaty, Nikolai, and the two fake witnesses. Buck reveals that Nikolai wants him as part of his delegation, and it gets said that it is somehow inappropriate for a reporter to be part of the delegation. Not sure how, this just seems like more of the author's nonsense. His boss offers to buy him a ticket to the event because he doesn't want Buck to owe Carpathia any favors. This ends chapter 9 of Childish Force. See you next time for chapter 10 as we hit the halfway mark of this farce.